Hello and welcome to another episode of Pivotal Moments. I am always excited to bring you my amazing guests that are joining the conversation, and today is no exception. So, today visiting us is Leslie from Brown Girls Embrace, and I'm just going to read a little bit of what she has going on and a little bit about her background, and then she can fill in the rest. So, Leslie Tarleton had a rough childhood. At the tender age of 9 years old, her father committed suicide. At the same time, they gave her a life changing diagnosis of type 1 diabetes. These monumental events caused Leslie to live a life of low self esteem, anger, and treating others badly for a long time. At 25, she did something about what she could control and went to therapy. With a diagnosis of anxiety and depression, Leslie knew it was time for her to take control, and that started with finding the positive things about herself. As she embraced this new way of seeing herself, she felt the next step was to help other women that look like her have the tools needed to do the same thing. And Leslie created Brown Girls Embrace. What a beautiful story. Leslie, welcome to Pivotal Moments. And of course, let fill in anything that I left out. Why don't you just let people know if I left anything out about you?
You pretty much summed it up. Summed it up all. I got diagnosed with diabetes. Well, my father committed suicide at age 9, and I got diagnosed with juvenile type 1 diabetes 6 months later after his death.
Wow, wow.
Mhm.
Wow. So, of course, this show is all about pivotal moments. I've talked a little bit about it, but what are you going to share with us today about your pivotal moment?
What I want to share, it wasn't recently during until the pandemic where I actually wanted to talk to other women who went through similar problems like me. And I wanted to create a support group and create a safe haven because I never had a safe haven. I never had a support group I could turn to when I was going through different things like dealing with the death of my father or even dealing with type 1 diabetes. So I wanted to create a support group. And that's when I was just like, I'm going to help others to do something and be more positive and to encourage women to have self care.
Wow, I love it. And Leslie, what have you learned about yourself? What is that unchangeable thing that just going through this pivot, creating your organization has taught you about yourself?
That I'm really blessed and things aren't as bad as if they seem. Um, and sometimes I just need to breathe and just calm down. It's not that deep.
Yeah. Oh, I
Mhm.
love it. I love it. And that's such a powerful message that, especially during these times, I'm so glad you shared that because it can get overwhelming. But
Yes.
what you said is so true. Sometimes we just have to just breathe. I love
Yeah.
that.
Simple.
Yeah. Yeah. So talk about adjustments. What adjustment did you have to make in just this whole process?
Creating Brown Girls Embrace.
Yes.
The adjustment is being a support, like being consistent and supporting people. Always be ready to share something positive or share a positive tip. Adjusting, um, just being there for people or showing
Yeah.
up for myself or don't executing what I say I wanted to do when it comes to creating my community.
Yeah. Wow. That is definitely an adjustment. Wow. Awesome.
Mhm.
So Leslie, as we come to the final part of our conversation, what do you want to leave with people? What is your message to those who are hearing this, watching this, from just from your own experiences or whichever you want to bring? What do you want to say directly to people?
The message that I want to tell people is just give people a break. You never know what somebody else is going through. I know you deal with things. I deal with things like I'm dealing with my anxiety, my depression, me having type 1 diabetes, and it's a lot of responsibilities that comes with having those things. And even being a spiritual woman, there's a lot of responsibilities in that aspect. And just being a human being, I'm 32, so just being a young woman going through different emotions. So the message is be more supportive because people can tend to be so hard on people, not give people a break, always criticizing and ridiculing others when we just need your support. So I created Brown Girls Embrace because I want us to embrace ourselves and others and just be understanding. You never know what somebody is going through. Like people had no idea until I opened it up, kind of brush my issues aside and act like, oh, it's just diabetes, oh, it's just depression. But I really had to pay attention and really adjust to it, take care of it, and cater those things and move on.
Wow. Thank you. That is such an important message. And as exactly as you mentioned, dealing with bouts of depression is overwhelming and has its challenges. Dealing with diabetes is overwhelming and has its challenges. And then, as you mentioned, being a young Black woman who
Mm-hmm.
is spiritually focused and all of
Yeah,
those things, all by themselves, have their own unique challenges. And
exactly.
here you have them all together. And
Mm-hmm.
what I love about your story, Leslie, is that you're not just coping and dealing on your own. You are paving a way for other brown girls to feel supported and loved and like we can do this. So that is awesome.
Yes, thank you so much.
You are so welcome. Well, again, I have your information there, but go ahead and say where people can follow you and find all the good stuff you got going on.
You can find me on all platforms on Brown Girls Embrace on Instagram, Facebook, and Clubhouse. Brown Girls Embrace.
Awesome. And for my viewers, you'll see it there. For the listeners, definitely check the show notes and click those links because I will tell you, especially getting to know Leslie, what I love about her spirit is determination. She does not let anything stop her. And Leslie, I'm saying it to them, but I'm saying it to you actually. I
uh,
love that about you. You are so determined. Even if you get nervous or uncomfortable, you will still push through, and that is awesome. So
thank you.
here at My Natural Me, Pivotal Moments, we support you, we embrace you, and we will
Thank you.
continue to do what we can to just show people what you're doing.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Lita.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in to another amazing episode of Pivotal Moments. Thank you.